Hey, John here again. So it's mid-April right now, but it's apparently nobody told Mother Nature. It's still freezing outside, but so I had this fellow of mine drop this off. Guy I do work for, a landscaper dude, dropped this off. It says it's a leaf, vacuum, but he wants this box rebuilt. I didn't do this box, but somebody did. It's a little bit weird. Looks like they maybe extended, there was walls here. Maybe they extended it. I don't know. I don't know why it's two-piece here, but he wants it revamped, and I'm just going to make a little video on maybe some ideas, because there's 100,000 ways to do this stuff. But whoever did this used a half-inch, looks like maybe a half-inch plywood, which would do all right. But the guy wants. I mean, you can't do nothing about these barn doors here, that's the way they open, but he doesn't like these, the way they open, and, well, I don't know if they open or not. Basically, he wants things redone. This here, so, yeah, I don't know the details, I don't know what he's done, but apparently when you dump this, that's going to be problematic, if this whole thing fills up with leaves. How's that going to work, this little space? I mean, this will open here, right? I don't know why that door is there. It must have fell off. Well, I can see why. I don't know what's going on here, but anyways, honestly, I can't even believe this goes down the road, but it's going to be no problem. I've got some ideas, but again, I'm just making this video just to maybe give somebody else some ideas. I've done a couple before, not on a dump trailer, but on a dump trunk and a regular pickup truck. So I do have some ideas, and he wants it higher too, as well. I mean, as you can see, that snorkel, well, of course that lid pops down, probably blows it into there, but he can definitely go higher. I mean, this ain't, I can't imagine that's, it's probably only, I would say less than 8 feet. And that screen, I can't imagine that screen up there. This thing must leak like a sieve as far as when that stuff's blowing in here. I'm not going to use that screen. That's not even a screen. That's like, I don't even know what to call that. It's not even chicken wire. I can't imagine the dust that comes flying out of here when he's doing leaves. Must lose a lot of, because that unit pulverizes stuff to maybe something like that. There's got to be a lot of stuff, escaping out of there, but I don't see the need for, an entire roof open. I'll probably do maybe one little section, but he also wants this removable, so he can use the dump trailer for whatever reason. So I got to come up with something that is not a permanent deal for, for the season. Because this is a permanent deal. This contraption here, he can't use this dump trailer other than, I guess you can open the doors and just throw stuff in there, but it's not like you can go to a yard and get a load of dirt.
All right. Well, that's a scrap pile. I'll burn that up.
So that's what it looks like. Whoever built that, it just pieced it together. I mean, it was problematic getting that thing off. Okay, front panel's done. I got my hole here. So I've got everything screwed onto the frame on the other side. These 2x4s are just to support it for now, because the walls ain't here yet. So it's just frame's gonna be like this, and it's these extend down to about here. And I've got these bolted from the factory, D-clip or whatever it's called. So when you lift it up, that's basically all I'll be holding it on besides gravity. And the other holes, it'll all be gravity. I won't need any, this will do the trick. Just having these will be fine. And then of course, when you lift this up, she just pulls away. I built that little box up there just to help protect, leaves going in, getting all over the place. Now I'll do the trick. I'll get to the rest of the sides. The sides will be easy, but the I'll do that. The back of it is going to be a little bit more difficult, just because it's going to have them barn doors that swing out. I don't know where we left off, but this side was done, and I did this side, and my wife, who are you talking to? Just keep cleaning the yard. So this side is up. This is a temporary brace here, as well as that one. But for the roof, what I'm planning on doing is having, I put these up here and having a slide, so the roof can slide on and off. I'll show you in there. I just made a frame for it, but this way, when you deconstruct this thing, because he wants it to where you can still use this trailer in the, off season. So every panel's got to be removable, easy enough. So I've got it so once the roof's on there, it'll be attached. Guess I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like the frame, I'll show you in a second, will be across here from this ridge to the next ridge, and then the sheeting on top of the frame will extend over to the rails, and that's where I'm going to secure it with these exterior screws. So secure it with the, you'll see when I'm, what the hell was that? Bodie, watch Bodie come tearing around here. That's my dog, he's crazy. Freak. He's cool. Anyways, so this is what I'm, look at him. It's like a thoroughbred. So you get this, this frame is just halfway up there, it's just sitting on there, but you get what I'm talking about as far as, again, this piece won't be here. So I was able to get it up there myself, just put it up there, get it started and flip it up, but I don't know with plywood, that's gonna be a little too heavy for me. Guy's like a thoroughbred, yeah. See, no grass grows right here or the other way, because Bodie's he's a champion. What are you doing? Crazy. He's gonna step on a nail. I gotta get this shit cleaned up. Anyways, let me get up here and show you what I'm talking about. See this whole, it's just gonna be on a rail, and when the sheeting's on here, it's gonna extend over, to the outside wall. So that's where I'm going to secure it to. Bang, bang, just, zap it all into place. And that way, when it comes off season, you just take these exterior screws off, and this whole piece will just slide right off. So that'll be one panel, blah, blah, blah. But as you can see here, I'm on a ladder with one hand, but, you just jack it in. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. You must see something in the woods there. He's cray cray. Alright, so here's where I'm at with this. I've got the 4 panels, 1, 2, on the other side here, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Hold on a second. So I've got the 3, 4. I've got, these strong ties to hold, because like I said, I want to take this rear section and be able to raise it up, take it off, so we can still utilize the dump part. But well, there's no buts. I'm just kind of like, I still got to do the roof there. These are just braces and holding everything square. Got to do another slidable roof and then attack the back here, and I'm done with this. I'm gonna leave it up to the customer to treat this, whether he wants to do it with paint or I don't know, sealer, whatever he wants to do. If he wants me to do it, I'll do it, but we're already into this $600, believe it or not, just for the wood screws, hardware. I still got to put a few more strong ties, obviously, and I'm also going to put another rail here, because this is only 30 seconds, I think it is, plywood. I don't know if that's going to bow. This is just a 4-foot section here, but instead of doing a vertical thing, I'm going to do, a horizontal thing, just to have it more pleasing to the eye aesthetically, because that's where a seam is up there. And I'm just going to put another board here just to make it look better. Maybe another strong tie,
strong tie, you know, that sort of thing. So, like I said, just got 2 more panels to do, and I'm done with this. I gotta get this out of here. This thing is it's as light as I can make it. All right, so this is what I come up with as far as just a bracket for one of 2 that are gonna do most of the heavy lifting on the door as far as holding it in place on the rear door. I just had this whatever this piece is, some scrap, cut a little section out 7 inches or so, drill some holes, and let me take it over to the thing and show you what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm thinking something like this, right, where this this little piece of stainless angle iron is going to be, you know, when the back door, I'll plug that in, you know, and the back door will be on here, only down to here, and then I'm going to hinge it, you'll see. But I think those, that's just going to be extra reinforcement. Everybody likes overkill, right? I mean, you could probably just drill it through the wood there, but I had this stainless stuff around. It'll last. It's going to give it extra support, so let me do it that way. I got to get a roof on here, so second half of the roof, and then get this back door on here. So I'm done with this project. There's the back door. That is a barn door, or a swingable door this way when you dump it. So I ended up putting the vent holes. There's 2 there with screen from the inside. I'll take it for a better look, but just want to show the outside right quick. So when you dump this, let me go around this way. When you dump this whole, you know, you take these honkers here, lift them off. You know, I got them pretty tight, so I have to put the camera down, but you take them off. Obviously, you know, the doors, they're on both sides. The door's going to swing out a little bit just because it's at an angle. But I also put these guides on here for when you close it, you know, because it's going to jock you a little bit depending on the property you're sitting on. So that'll help get it close to closing. And I put a skirt down here. This is full of junk in here because I told the guy that he's got to get rid of some of this metal infested crap. So I got some stuff in there, so I can't really dump it. But so I put that skirt just a little bit lower than the door, just so you don't want leaf blow by, you know. And you didn't want that thing sitting on the metal doors, because when you're going down the road, it's going to rub and cause some problems probably. But because this thing will articulate, you know, certain hills or roads that have the bumps in them, you know, it's going to move a little bit. So that's why I got it like that. But I will take this up in the air and show you how high it goes. I'll have to close these barn doors in the back here, just keep everything from sliding out. But that's this side. I did end up putting that, you know, piece across there with, get back a little bit. And those vent holes there, I put them there for 2 reasons. I didn't do anything with the top, no vents on the top. It's all sheeted plywood. And I got some plastic up there to help protect it from the rain, because I know this guy is not going to treat it for a while, if ever. So he's got to paint it or treat it or stain it or do something with it to protect this wood. This is a pressure treated lumber, but the plywood is not. So anyways, these vent holes are, they do a couple things. You can see where you're at with, you know, where your leaves are at. Obviously that's only a couple feet, if that, to that first hole. And of course you get up there to the next hole, and that way you'll be able to tell where you're at with the leaves when you're doing, instead of opening the door and checking every 10 minutes or whatever you're doing. Alright, so that's what that puppy looks like straight up in the air. It's got a pretty severe dump to it. But again, it's only held on by the top rails, other than gravity keeping us in on each pocket. They're not secured in the pocket, just on the top front rail. And I've done this on a dump truck, so I know it looks really like it's going to fall off, but it won't. So I got to mend that too. I think I might have done that. I might have tried to tip this up when I was doing the roof. I'll show you in a second. So I do have to figure out how to mend that, because I don't want to buy one. But I do have to tell this fella that when you're dumping it, you better be on level ground, because otherwise you're gonna, you know, you're gonna jam this into the ground if you're not careful. You know, it's on a, it's on hinges, but you know, if he's not, you know, on level ground, he might get into, because it is only about 6 inches off the ground there. Anyways, that stuff will come flying out of there, no problem, at this vertical way. And let me go in here and show you some stuff. Brag man lighting. So I put this little plastic curtain deal on here, just because that's where the leaves are going to be hitting. You know, from your hole way up there, it's going to be shooting down and just blasting into this, and without protecting it, you know, from the past boxes I built, it does have buildup of leaves, and then it, you know, especially wet leaves will harden and creates a big mound. But so it's just scrapping here, but at this vertical height, you can't get an idea with the camera, but it's almost, it's not quite straight up in here, but I think it's past the 45. But I did want to point out where these two roof panels plug in together. I've got these lag bolts going through, so there's four lag bolts going through that sandwich these roof panels together, plus the fact that I showed you before, it's screwed down to the roof side. The roof is screwed down to the side walls themselves, so again, it ain't going nowhere. And also those strong tie plates are holding together as well. So that's that. This thing will last him a while if he treats it, you know, paints it or does something. I did put this plastic heavy duty, this called slip sheets. It goes in between pallets and freight or product, and they actually have a machine that grabs the edge of this and rips it off pallets. So it's pretty stout stuff. But I just got it basically stapled and taped up there, taped the seams up just to protect it from the rain. Just because, like I said, he ain't gonna get to this for a while, and I don't want the roof to start rotting out immediately. I think this will last a while. Again, I've done a couple of these using regular wood. The PT is a little bit heavier than regular wood, but I think that's a good idea. I was gonna do PT in the whole, you know, everything, but a piece of pressure treated plywood is like $35. It's just ridiculous. This is expensive enough. This costs like $800 just in lumber and hardware. You know, I didn't buy too much hardware neither, just screws. It's like $10 a box of screws, you know, for the exterior ones that dock nicely to pressure treated, you know. So anyways, these hinges I actually reused. I didn't buy them. They were off the old trailer. So that's what I've got, and it works good. It won't go nowhere. I mean, it is solid as Sears. You try to move this and it's basically, it's heavy. So what I want to talk about, getting this, let me show you something here. Let me lower this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me give you an idea what I'm talking about. So if you had to set this up yourself, to take that rear part of the box off, or even the whole box, I mean, you could do the same thing, but the whole box is probably pretty goddamn heavy. The rear box, I don't know, 300-400 pounds at least, I would imagine. So you can't do it yourself. Maybe you and 3 other guys, but so that's a load bar here on the end there. I would get inside with at least 3 of them and hit the top rail, jack it up. Well, first of all, you'd have to take all these plates off, right? Or just half the screws on half the plates. Zip them out. Zip your screws that are on the roof out, you know. Oh no, you don't have to touch the roof. You have to zip these screws and the strong ties out, and then go inside and grab them 4 legs that are connecting the roofs together. So that's the only thing you have to take out, the 4 bolts there, and undo these strong ties. And then you could take a load bar or a jack, house jack, whatever you got. These will go inside the trailer. You know, I'd put 1 in each corner on the front and 1 in the rear here in the center, and just jack it up. I only need to come up 2 inches. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll have a gap underneath between here and there, and then you run a 2x4 across a couple of ladders. Of course, it's on level there. You park on level ground, but the trailer's jacked up at an angle. And then you would send a 2x4, you know, vertical, going across to the other side. You'd have 2 step ladders on the other side. So you get what I'm saying. That's the only way I could think of how to get it off there without a chain hoist, but you'd have to be pretty high in the air to get something you know, I guess you can go between two trees or something. I don't know what you would do there, but it's the only way I could think of getting it off by yourself. Set up a couple of, you'd need 4 step ladders, a few pieces of wood, and a couple of jack bars. And then once you get everything jacked up and sitting on the wood, you could just drive off. And then you can use the trailer. But that being said, you can also, this has got enough clearance in the back to, you know, you could take this door off. That's only has the 2 bolts on the top, on the 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then it's zipped in on the roof with the exterior screws. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts there, and just zip that off, and that whole door mechanism can be, you know, taken off. Again, that would be a two-person job. I mean, I'd probably have to use some kind of, if I had to do it myself, get some kind of angle brace to hold it up, take all the screws out, and then kind of try to lower it without having it fall, but it'd be problematic. But then any half-yard bucket loader can drive right in. It's got enough reach to drop it on, you know, because you can see the wheels here are set back on these trailers. So if I had to use this, you know, that's what I would do. Just take the rear door off, or, you know, take this section off if you're going to use it for a while. But the idea of this whole build was to make it so each section come off relatively easy with 2 people for storage, so you can still use your trailer off season. And that's basically what I've done here. So